Alright, so our next several videos are on chemical nomenclature. And these are the systematic rules for determining the names and the formulas of chemical compounds. Now, to me, chemical nomenclature is incredibly important because it synthesizes a number of fundamental topics and concepts that we've covered so far. But that can also make chemical nomenclature challenging because if you're not really comfortable with these fundamental topics, then it makes chemical nomenclature really hard. Now, the good news is, if you do become really familiar with these fundamental topics, it makes chemical nomenclature really easy. So, the things that you really need to be comfortable with in order for chemical nomenclature to be easy is you've got to know the difference between metals and nonmetals and how to identify them based on the position of the periodic table. You need to know the difference between ionic and covalent compounds and how to identify them. You need to know which elements have predictable charges, right? So all the nonmetals, we know what their charges are, but you have to know which metals have predictable charges and which ones don't. And then what's also really important and essential for this chemical nomenclature is you have to know the names, the formulas, and the charges of the common polyatomic ions. And so knowing the polyatomic ions is critically important to being able to do nomenclature. So one of the things that can make nomenclature a little bit hard is that you have to know all of that fundamental information, but then there are different rules for determining how we name different types of compounds. And so in the video after this, I have several videos devoted to each different type of compound that we're going to have to name, but if you don't know what type of compound you have, then you don't know which set of rules to follow. And so I have a flowchart here, and I would encourage you to make a similar one in your notebook and use that when you first start out, and then kind of you're ready for the quizzes and tests on nomenclature when you don't need that flowchart anymore. Right, so the first question I always ask myself when I'm trying to name a compound or to write its formula is whether it's ionic, covalent, or an acid, because that determines which set of rules I use. Right, so if we have a metal plus a nonmetal, or we have any polyatomic ions, then it's going to be ionic. We're not going to be asked to name any types of compounds that involve polyatomic ions that aren't ionic. And for that matter, you're not going to be asked to name any compounds that have metals that aren't ionic. So if you see a metal or a polyatomic ion, you know it's going to be ionic. Right? If you have just two nonmetals, then that's going to be covalent. And for our purposes, if I ask you to name something and it's an acid, we'll put a hydrogen in front of the formula. Or if we give you the name, it'll just have acid in its name, and so you'll know which set of rules to use. Right? If you've decided that it's ionic, I think the big difference is, do we know the charge on the metal, or is the charge on the metal one that we don't necessarily know ahead of time? Right, as you're going to see, if we know the charge on the metal, it's pretty easy. Just name the ions. Give the name of the metal ion, give the name of the nonmetal with the ending replaced by IDE, or the name of the polyatomic ion. Right? If it's one of the metals where it's not a known charge, then you've got to figure out what the charge is. And then you have to specify that with Roman numerals. Other than that, it's the same as naming the other ionic compounds. If it's covalent, it's pretty easy. As you're going to see, we just use prefixes to say how many of each atom there are, and we're done. And then if we have acids, there are two types of acids. We have binary acids and oxyacids. A binary acid is just a hydrogen plus one other nonmetal. And in that case, we use the rules for naming binary acids. And then if it's an acid with hydrogens coupled with an oxygen-containing polyatomic ion, then we use the oxyacid rules. So use this flowchart or something similar when you're naming compounds to decide which set of rules you need to use. And then the next several videos sort of break down the different rules that we have for each of these different groups.